Good day, everyone. My name is Rogelio T. Ferreira III. I discuss the make or buy decision. What is make or buy decision? A make or buy decision is an act of choosing between manufacturing a product in-house or purchasing it from an external supplier. Also referred to as an outsourcing decision, a make or buy decision compares the cost and benefit associated with the producing a necessary goods or service internally to cost and benefit involved in hiring an outside supplier from the resources in question. There are many factors at play that may tell a company from making an item in-house or outsourcing it, such as labor costs, lack of expertise, storage costs, supplier contract, and lack of sufficient volume. An example of make or buy. To provide an illustration of a make or buy decision, consider Mountain Goat Cycle. The company is now producing the heavy-duty gear shifter used its most popular line of mountain bikes. The company accounting department reports the following cost of producing 8,000 units of the shifter internally each year. Example of they are have a per unit and 8,000 units. Example of direct materials, 6 units is equivalent to 48,000 units. Direct labor, 4 units is equivalent to 30,000 units. Variable overhead is 1 unit is equivalent to 8,000 units. Supervisor salary is 3 units is equivalent to 24,000 units. And the depreciation of special equipment, 2 units is equivalent to 16,000 units. And allocated general overhead is 5 units is equivalent to 40,000 units. Its total of cost and per unit is 21 units and, total cost 21 units and total of 168,000 per unit. An outside supplier has offered to sell 8,000 shifter a year to Mountain Goat Cycle at a price of only $19 each. Should the company stop producing the shifter internally and buy them from the outside supplier? As also as always, the focus should be on relevant cost, those that differ between the alternative, and costs that differ between the alternative causes of the cost that could be avoided when purchasing the shifter from the outside supplier. If the cost that can be avoided by purchasing the shifter from the outside supplier total less than $19, then the company should continue to manufacture its own shift and reject the outside supplier offer. On the other hand, if costs that can be avoided by purchasing the shifter from the outside supplier in total more than $19, the outside supplier offer should be accepted. In total relevant cost in 18 units, they have make or a buy. Direct materials. Direct materials, they have 8,000 units and 6 per unit is equivalent to 48,000 units. Direct labor, 8 units and 4 per unit is equivalent to 32 units. Then variable overhead, 8,000 units and 1 per unit is equivalent to 8,000 units. Supervisor salary is equivalent to 24,000 units. Depreciation of special equipment is not relevant. Allocated general overhead, not relevant again. Outside purchase price is by $152,000 and total cost is $112,000 and the buy is $152,000 is different in favor of continuing to make $40,000. Not that the dissipation of special equipment is less as one of the costs of producing the shifter internally because the equipment has already been purchased. This depreciation is a sunk cost of and it therefore irrelevant. If the equipment could be sold, its salvage value would be relevant, or if the machine could be used to make other produce, this could be relevant as well. However, we will assume that the equipment has no real salvage value and that it has no other use except making a heavy-duty gear shifter. Also note the company is allocating a portion of its general overhead cost to shifter. Any portion of this general overhead cost that will actually be eliminated if the gear shifter were pushing rather than made will be relevant in the analysis. However, it's likely that all overhead costs allocated to the gear shifter are in fact common to all items produced in the factory and will continue unchanged even if the shifter were purchased from outside. Such allocated common costs are not relevant costs because they do not differ between the make or buy alternatives and should be limited from the analysis along with the stock cost. The variable cost producing the shifter can be avoided by buying the shifter from the outside supplier, so they are relevant costs. We will assume that these costs that the variable costs include direct materials, direct labor, and the variable overhead. The supervisor's salary is also relevant if it could be avoided by buying the shifter. The relevant cost analysis of the make or buy decision, assuming the supervisor's salary can be avoided because it costs 40,000 less to make the shifter internally than to buy them from the outside supplier. Mountain Goat Cycle should reject the outside supplier offer. However, the company may wish consider the additional factors before coming to the final decision. The opportunity cost of the space now being used to produce the shifter. Opportunity cost. Opportunity costs represent the potential benefits that an individual investor or business miss out on when choosing one alternative over another. Because opportunity costs are uncertain by definition, they can be easily overlooked. Understanding the potential missed opportunities when a business or individual chose one investment over another allows for better decision making. To illustrate, assume that the space now being used reduced shifter could be used to produce a new cross-country bike that could generate a segment margin of 60,000 per year. Under this condition, Mountain Goat Cycle should accept the supplier offer and use the avoid space to produce a new product line. Example, total annual cost is, is equivalent to $112,000. In the buy is $152,000. Opportunity cost segment margin for on the potential new product line is equivalent to 60,000. That is then the total cost is $172,000 and the buy is $152,000. Different in over purchasing from the outside supplier is 22,000. Opportunity costs are not recorded in the organization general ledger because they do not represent actual dollar outlay. Rather, they represent economy benefits that are foregone as a result of pursuing some course of action. The opportunity cost of mountains goat cycle is sufficiently large in this case to change the decision. Thank you. The end.